Have you ever sat in a sprint review and someone throws out terms like lead time, velocity, throughput, and everyone just nods? No one really knows what those numbers means. Let's fix that today. Quick favor before we dive in. Think about the last agile metric you saw on a dashboard that made you pause and think, wait, what does that actually mean for us? Was it velocity, lead time, or burndown? Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear which agile metric confuses or frustrates you the most, and I will try to cover more deeply in my future videos. If you are a passionate project manager like me, someone who is in the trenches trying to really deliver the best outcomes, I would love for you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I have just started sharing this learning with all my community of PMs from the years of leading through tough projects that I have learned and have grown into it. And I'm building the space to give you clear real-world examples, the tips that actually works, not just theory. So hit that subscribe and you won't miss any of those upcoming videos. Let's grow together. Let's lead smarter. All right? Okay, in this video, I will walk you through 20 Agile KPIs in the simplest way possible. No jargons, no textbook fluff. Just one real story and how every single metric shows up in this practice. All right? Let's get into it. Imagine this. You are part of a scrum team working for a healthcare company. Your product owner gives you a clear goal. We need to launch a doctor's appointment booking feature per se, where patients can book doctors online, filter by specialization, and pick a time slot. You have 4 sprints to build and release. I'm going to walk you through each of those 20 KPIs using this one example. Let's start with the delivery KPI, the one that leaders often ask about, feature completion. You planned 10 stories in sprint 1, you finished 8. That's 80% completion. It tells you how well your team delivers what they commit to, right? Then comes the release frequency. You release working software once every 2 sprints. That's 1 release every month. This metric tells stakeholders how fast user sees real value. Lead time. For example, on May 1, you got a request to add a filter for a virtual in-person appointment. You delivered it on May 18th. That's 17 days of the lead time from idea to production, right? Now comes the cycle time. You started the work on May 5th, finished on May 15th. That's 10 days of active cycle time, start to done, right? Now let's move into the flow KPIs. These show how work is actually moving throughout the system. Sprint velocity, for example. In sprint 2, you completed 30 story points. This helps you plan future sprints based on the real output, right? Throughput. You finished 6 stories. That's your raw delivery count, regardless of the point. Whereas the flow efficiency is where you have 1 story that took 10 days total, but only 4 days were active work. That's 40% of the total efficiency, right? All right, now let's consider work in progress. Halfway through sprint 2, you got 7 items in progress. That's too many. WIP is work in progress limit. WIP limit might help you focus and finish more. Now let's talk about quality KPIs. This is where testing, bugs, and production issues come into play. Defect rates. You release 20 features. User reports 4 bugs. That's 20% of the defect rate. The red flag, especially for the customer-facing apps. Escaped defects. 2 of those bugs came directly from the production. Escaped defects are what slipped the past testing. Automated testing percentage. You have got 100 test cases, 75 are automated, 75%. Higher automation is equal to faster feedback. Deployment success. You deployed 3 times. 1 had to be rolled back. That's 66% success rate. You want this to as close as 100% possible. Next, planning KPIs. These tells you whether your team planning is grounded or not. Commitment reliability. You committed 40 story points, delivered only 30. That's 70% reliability. It's not about blaming. It's about learning where the gap is. Inspect and adapt. Remember? Story carryover. You planned 12 stories, 3 didn't get done. That's 25% carryover. Too many carryovers means you are overloading sprints. Burn down accuracy. Your burn down chart looks great, but in reality, you only finished on the last day. That's inaccurate. It shows you are not updating ticket honestly or in the real time, right? Okay, backlog health. You have 60 items in the backlog. Only 30 are properly refined and ready. That's 50% health. A weak backlog leads to chaos during the sprint planning. Now let's talk about your team's well-being. That's team health KPIs. That matters more than everything else, right? Team happiness index. Well, in your retrospective survey, average score is 7.5 or 10. That's not bad, right? Participation retros, you have 8 team members, 7 attend retro, that's 87.5% participation. Low attendance, that's cultural issue. Blocker time, one developer is blocked for 3 days full, waiting on the backend fix. That's too long. This KPI tells how responsive your support systems are, right? Sprint goal success. The goal for sprint 4 was clear. Deliver the full doctor blocking feature with filters. And you did it. That's 100% goal rate. Celebrate it. Let's take a step back. These 20 KPIs, they are not just number. They tell a story. In this example, here's what we learned. The team is delivering, but with some planning and quality gaps. Flow is inconsistent. Too many items in progress, right? And too much of the wait time as well. Bugs are escaping. Automation needs to improve. But the team is engaged. They are attending retros. They are finishing goals. And now you have the clarity, right? That's the power of KPIs. You don't need all 20 every sprint. Just start with few, maybe 4 or 5. Track, reflect, improve, inspect, adapt. That's what real agility looks like. I am Jesse. I have led tough projects, coached real teams, and I'm here to help you achieve the same. This is in theory. This is your edge you've been looking for. Thank you for listening.